What is going on, everybody? Ray here, and I'm back. I'm back on this channel on Ray 2, showing you some gameplay of guess what? Nuclear Throne. And I wanted to come back on here and have another one of these long discussions that I have completely unscripted. I'm also kind of unsure about what I'm going to be talking about, but I'll try not to make too many cuts, mostly because I know not too many people check this channel either way. And I don't want this to be an excuse for me not putting any effort in this video. After all, I did also have a lot of Nuclear Throne runs that I wanted to get out there because there's a lot of them and I don't have much space. And even today I was just sort of clearing my computer, my laptop with from a lot of recordings that were unnecessary. Or what I tend to do is I tend to, after I record something for YouTube, I just keep it on my computer, and because I record it for it to be at 720p, it just occupies a shit ton of space. And now I'll be removing those things and putting them on my external hard drive. And this is one of the gameplays that kind of falls into that, where I would rather just get it out there, but also update this channel, because once again, it's been a month. Today I wanted to talk about my personality type and a little bit about me, a little bit about who I am, but also some trends I've been noticing in my life that have sort of been coming up, and I want to talk about those because why not? It's my second channel. I can pretty much do whatever I want on here, and if I get at least one comment on this that isn't from someone that regularly does comment on this video, then I'll be happy. I am sort of getting off track, so let's get back on track and talk about what I wanted to say. So first of all, what you need to know about me, or at least something I've realized coming up recently, is that I don't really like calling myself a lazy person. And this isn't to say that I make excuses for a lot of the things that I don't do, but yes, I do make excuses for a lot of the things I don't do. And that really does suck when you put yourself in a position where you work hard towards something or you don't work hard towards something, and then you pretty much want to just get away from the fact that, oh, you don't want to recognize that you're lazy, because lazy is a word that's associated, that has so many negative connotations, and you shouldn't call someone lazy because then you're being mean to them. I don't know. I mean, when I think lazy, what's the first thing I think about? I think of someone that I don't want to be associated with, so why would I call myself lazy? I don't know. This word is something that it's kind of come up throughout my life. I have people have called me lazy before. I have been called so by a friend that was in my life back when I was in Canada in grade 10, and this sort of had to do with me going to the gym, going with him, and I would always be either recording for YouTube back when I wasn't really using it so often, but I'd be recording or whatever, or I'd be playing TF2, and he would just ask me, he would message me on Steam, because he lived in the adjacent building to mine, it was a 5-minute walk or so to his building, and he would always ask, do you want to go to the gym? And I remember back then I would make excuses for the dumbest things, but it's stuff that happens today as well. So I'll just describe some of those things and then say what I think about them. So I don't know, I find that I always use homework as an excuse for not doing things. If someone invites me to a Skype call, which, by the way, if Crithammer or Catamono end up watching this, and I guess you'll kind of know where I'm coming from. This is, again, more personal stuff, that's why I'm also putting it on second channel, even though I would probably gladly put it on my main channel, but it's not TF2, and it's just not something I'd release. It's more of a ramble, so Anyway, back to the topic. I do use homework a lot in school as an excuse to not do things, and that sort of happened a lot back then. Even today it happens, but I don't know. When he would ask me, do you want to go to the gym or do you want to go out, I would pretty much just say, no, I have to do work. And it's funny because he would tell me, well, you and I both know you're not actually going to end up doing the work. And I think from those experiences, that sort of led to me knowing myself way better and knowing the person that I am today and why I do certain things that I do and why I do them that way. Because I feel as you grow up, you start to distance yourself from a lot of things that you did as a kid, and the way you acted when you were maybe not a kid, but when you were at least younger. And sometimes, at least for me, it's hard to swallow and understand most of these things and really conceptualize the fact that I am changing and I am evolving and I am becoming a different person. even though I may not want to. And it does happen. So like recently, I've been thinking, I've been looking at myself, and I've been really wondering, I used to be, so something that you also need to know, a big surprise maybe, I don't know. I used to be a very studious person, especially in grade 8. I managed to get 100% on my first semester in social studies on the report card. Literally 100%. I remember my first test in that class, I got 104% or 102% or something like that because of the bonus question. I would be able to answer every damn question and the bonus, and I'd have fun. I'd have fun studying. And I don't know, I used to put so much effort. I used to look forward to going to school every day, to going to like drama. I used to take drama in grade 8. I used to look so forward to that. Sadly, grade 8 was the last year that I was actually at that school I was at. Then I moved provinces, I shifted again. This was all in Canada. But the point is, I sort of asked myself, well, why is it that I looked forward to all these things, and I looked forward to school in the way I did? And why, and most importantly, like we don't realize, but back then, I mean, even you guys probably, like, we were so, I talk like I'm speaking for other people. I don't know, maybe it doesn't apply to you, but this is how I see it. I mean, at that age, you're like so innocent about so many things. And now that you kind of grow up and you realize, like, okay, I'm going to school to do this or to do that, and then you wonder, well, why am I really doing it? I mean, I don't know. I feel like nowadays, to kind of get to like a point in this video, I feel like nowadays I simply, the reason why I don't want to call myself lazy when it comes to work is because I'm not lazy in the sense that I won't do something or I'll do a shit job. Like, if I do something, I'll make sure I do it properly. If it's a presentation or a project, because as 21 Pilots mentioned in one of their songs, my name's Blurryface, and yes, I do care what you think. They were saying that when I was younger, people told me that all my fears would go away, but now I'm insecure and I care what people think, and I really love that song. But anyway, it's true, it applies a lot to me. I do care what people think, so I don't know. I don't call myself lazy, but yeah, when I present something, I know people will be watching, so of course I'm gonna prepare. I had friends in back in Toronto that would basically go up and present and just do a shit job, and I wonder, like, how the hell do you even do that? How do you not feel like fucking embarrassed for yourself that you did something like that? Because I mean, other people are watching you, the teacher's watching you. There was literally a kid in my class, he had to present on this poem analysis, I think it was. This was in grade 10, by the way. And he just wouldn't go. He wouldn't go up. Like, the teacher would literally be begging him to go up and talk and present. Like seriously, dude, how dumb are you? I don't even know. I had to vent about that. But I don't know. Sometimes I look at people and I wonder, I mean, why do they do the things they do? I might be lazy in certain situations, but I'm very, like, I'm super, super, super introverted. Like, guys, you don't even know. I don't know. That's why I can be lazy about my own work. I can put off my own stuff, but when that stuff sort of starts to impact other people around me and they get affected by what my what I do, like if I'm in a group project, for example, I'm not going to give like a specific example, but I hate disappointing people. I absolutely hate disappointing people. I'll give you an example because it just kind of came to me now as I told you this whole thing's unscripted. When I was in grade 9, I was in this BTT class, it was called, which basically stands for like business and technology or something like that. I don't even remember. But we studied like Excel, PowerPoint, Word, and all the different things. And like I learned a lot of the things I do in Excel now in that class, and a lot of my PowerPoint skills or Word skills. Like we used to do like indents and tabs and whatever we used to do. And when the final like exam came around, or like it wasn't a written but it was a practical, I think we also had a written, I don't remember, but the practical, which we had like a time limit and we had to make like a project, or not a project, we had a set of instructions for things that we learned to either do in Excel, like I don't know, lock certain columns or whatever. I seriously don't remember what it was, but I don't know, I got so nervous that day when I had that, and I think it was specifically for Excel because we had it for Word and for PowerPoint, but it was all on different days. So the one that we had for Excel, I don't even know. I simply messed up. It was very long. A lot of people also didn't finish because the instructions were so long. I think we had like an hour. I think it was during the class time. It wasn't even like a separate thing because it was grade 9, so it wasn't like anything, I don't know, big or official or I don't know. So anyway, and I remember after I was done, I gave it in, and I feel like my teacher, I think this is what happened. I think he just looked at it, or maybe it wasn't after this. No, it was when this happened. And he looked at me and told me like I'm very disappointed. And because I used to be his best I was his best. I was pretty much his best student, or like there was this one kid in our class that was like crazy good with all the computer stuff, and like now look at me now, like I'm editing and whatever I'm doing. But it was just, he told me I'm disappointed, and I really, really hated that. I hate disappointing or letting people down, and this whole thing sort of does come into the whole YouTube scene. If I make a video, that's why like I'm super self-conscious about all these things, and I'm very super self-conscious about what other people tell me. And sometimes I don't like negative feedback, but feedback is feedback, and of course I'm going to be taking it. I mean, you have to be able to stomach a lot of these things when you do YouTube, and understand what people want and give them what they want. But it's hard, It's kind of like you're making the decision: are you going to stick to your morals or principles, or what you want to do, make what you want, or are you going to be making what other people want? So, and if you don't do what other people want you to do, then they might be disappointed. And then if you're someone like me, you fall into the loophole of I feel bad. I feel bad that I disappointed you. Of course, I can't say that this really happened so far because it's difficult you can't please everyone. And no man can please everyone. And of course, I'm not the kind of person that can please everyone, even if I would try. It's just simply not possible. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like to sort of reach a conclusion, because I'm already at like 12 minutes and this run is about 15 minutes. I don't know. I feel like recently in my life I've been really nostalgic because I moved a lot throughout my life. I've been thinking a lot about whatever I did in grade 9, in grade 8, even grade 10. And sort of started wondering, well, why is it that I changed so much? Not only towards, well, I guess my attitude is mostly like towards school that's changed. It's not that I don't like it, but sometimes I don't like calling myself like, oh, I'm lazy. That's why I didn't do anything the whole weekend when I have like exams in a week. And yeah, it's true. I have exams in a week and I haven't really done almost anything. It's not that I'm not smart. Like if I put my mind to something, I'll do it. Or if I put my mind, like even for YouTube, to do a well-edited or make a well-edited video, I will do that. I'm gonna do that because I want to do it. And I think for my channel it's very important to have a balance between live commentaries, very well-edited videos, and just rambles. There isn't a fine line. There's no fine line. I was almost gonna say fine line, but there has to be a balance, and the way that comes across, it has to come across somehow. So I mean, of course I'm gonna do it. Of course I'm gonna focus on doing that, and I just want to do me. It's great. It was great meeting Funk. It was great not meeting him, talking to him, and being friends on Steam with him. Again, I don't really know. I was surprised he even accepted my ad, but it's great. I really like to hear and read people's blogs. I read his blog personally all the time. Whenever he uploads or whenever he puts something on there, I'll read it. Again, this video has mostly been me talking about things that I'd read about on my blog, but I haven't updated this channel in forever, pretty much. So, in an attempt to update this, I hope you guys sort of enjoy the ramble. I still have like a minute to go, so I'll sort of wrap it up. But yeah, if you want to see more rambles, and it's, I like doing this. It's not very difficult, which is why, again, going back to the idea that I'm super self-conscious about what I do, I wouldn't really put something like this on my main channel, because if I don't deem something, like if I don't think I spent enough time editing something, or if I think that like the video took me 5 minutes, or I don't know, like 20 minutes as it did here, of course it's gonna take more time to render, but I really judge myself based on how much time I spent editing, and I think that's really not a good idea, because I don't know. I feel like the more time you spend editing something, the better it's going to be, and it's often not the case. It's not the case at all, and I feel like that's where most YouTubers trip up, and they judge themselves. Of course, more editing you know, it could be good, but don't overdo it either with the edits. So I guess my personality type, yes, I'm a very introverted person. Yes, I'm trying to get out there and be more extroverted, and I feel like YouTube is letting me do that. And that's why I want to keep doing it, because if I didn't, well, why would I keep making videos? Doesn't make so much sense, does it? Well, that's pretty much gonna end my ramble. I'm gonna die here shortly to a cop, which gotta love them cops in Nuclear Throne. But if you've stayed throughout this whole thing and you've actually, I don't know, listened to me and paid attention, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace, peace.